Listen up, Maryland. It's feeling right. It's been a hot second since we've actually continued this series. And today we will go over the number three best moment that happened in the 2021-22 season. Ryan, just a quick side comment. Did I ever tell you that if you're actually a true women's basketball fan, there's really no off season. I mean, man, we're getting treated now to some special games. You got Elena Deladon hitting the court. You got Arike Ogunbowale, who looks like she's a problem for the Washington Mystics. You got Sue Bird. You got Skylar Diggins-Smith. So, hey, man, like I said, it seems like we understand all about UConn Huskies, right? But during the off season, hey, it's really no off season. I mean, you have some legendary players that hit the court year round.
Yeah, that's right. WNBA is so exciting to watch these past couple weeks, the first couple weeks of the regular season. But yeah, that was a good game last night between the Mystics and the Wings. Arike Ogunbowale, if I had herself a game. But the Mystics looking pretty good, and Phoenix Mercury are looking pretty good this year as well with Skylar Diggins-Smith, who used to be on the Wings. But I think the Phoenix Mercury will go pretty far, but still a long season. We'll see what happens.
All right, getting into the number three best moment of the season, Ryan, that just passed by us, and then we will go over the comments from the last video like usual. Ryan, very quickly, I know we touched base with a lot of people. There is still an interview coming out. We are not lying, Ryan, to people. There is still a big interview. She is on the top. She's actually one of the top 10 players on ESPN's list of recruits coming out in the class of 2022. So again, Ryan, slow process. I always tell you, Ryan, we don't like to have these very special, talented players on and just say, all right, boom, here's the video done. We like to get a nice thumbnail picture for them, a nice intro video for them. So it's all coming together. The process takes a while for our crew, Ryan. But again, we had that coming for you guys. And Ryan has true, you can back me up on that as far as telling the truth, because you were sitting in the chair right next to me when it happened.
Yeah, I can't wait until it comes out. We're hoping for next Monday. But like you said, it's a long process, but we want to make sure we treat the person, whoever we interview, right. We don't want to just post a video up without doing anything to it and editing it a little bit to make it look better. But yeah, it was a really good interview. I can't wait until it comes out.
Ryan, I'll let you take it over from here. Number three best moment of the 21-22 season. What do you have for me?
Yeah, February 18th, UConn beat Xavier 89-35. In that game, UConn went on a 37-point scoring run, 37-0 against Xavier. It started at the 5:24 mark in the second quarter. UConn went up 28-19, and it ended in the third quarter with 2:05 left, with UConn up 62-19 before Xavier scored two free throws. Unbelievable scoring run. It took a team effort. Everybody contributed for the Huskies. And that was really the summary of this past season. It took everyone. It took, everybody's effort throughout the whole entire season, all the injuries, the COVID outbreak. It was a long, hard fight just to get to that championship game. And hopefully this upcoming season, UConn can get back to that game and win it. But in this game against Xavier, there's a couple games before, I believe, Paige Beckers went out. So there was no Paige Beckers in this game. And the scoring in this game, the minutes were passed around pretty evenly. Aaliyah Edwards had 10. AZ Fudd had 11. Piath Gabriel actually played 8 minutes and scored 11 points in that game. And I remember recapping this game. I believe neither one of us were able to watch it. And I think we didn't even know about the scoring run until after we posted the recap, and everybody was in the comments like, why didn't you go over this? So I wanted to make sure this was definitely one of the big moments we went over.
Yeah. And again, we love to hear from you guys. We have to admit now, Ryan, that we will be off for the next, not this week coming up, but the following week. You and I will be going far, far away, and we deserve this one, man. I can't wait for this down there in Florida, hot, sunny Florida, right?
Yeah.
As you call it, the Miami, nothing like the Miami Heat, literally, literally the Heat, and not only that, and the basketball team as well, huh? But it should be exciting to head down south for a while and catch up with some people. I tell you, what had me very shocked at this number 3 moment is what you just said. No Paige Beckers, and we talk about Paige Beckers so much, which is fine. I love that's one of the main reasons why this podcast was brought along. Paige Beckers, the love for Paige Beckers will never fade. No matter if she goes stone cold all year long, we're still talking about Paige Beckers. But with that said, look how dangerous this Huskies team is without Paige Beckers, and that's the thing, Ryan, where a lot of people don't realize this is college basketball. It's a quick turnaround. I think we went over that before, Ryan, where, you fall in love with these players so quickly, but it's not like your professional teams. You can't put that contract on the table and you can't give them a 5-year, 8-year, 10-year deal, So it's tough for these fans. It's tough for me personally. I'm sure it's tough for you to see her go in such a short amount of time, or a college player that you fall for so quickly. But again, I think things are looking pretty high up for this team. Even I know people don't want to think about it, but even when the days come when Paige Beckers is no longer here.
Yeah, or when Gino is no longer coaching. But
yeah, good point too. Yeah, because hey, he's been around a long time, huh? And age will do it to you. I hate to say it, but legendary coaches and players, Ryan. What do they say? All great things come to an end. It's just life, huh?
Yeah, they do. But I mean, and this was a big win too for the Huskies, because like I mentioned, UConn had just lost Paige Beckers. And I'm pretty sure in that same week we had UConn losing a couple games. I believe they lost to, let me pull it up here real quick. I think they lost to Oregon the week before. And of course, the games before that, they had the COVID outbreak. So
was at Georgia Tech. I remember going on with you down the road with my family's house. Remember that one recap? And we thought the sky was literally falling. I mean, back then, if I would have told you back then when Georgia Tech, unranked Georgia Tech, came in and beat in UConn, what if I would have told you right after that recap? All right, Ryan, I would have called you up over the phone. Ryan, it's okay though. This team is going to regroup and they're going to make it all the way to the final. You would be like, Ryan would have hung the phone up on Phil.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think anybody expected it, especially with all the injuries. I mean, just for UConn to make it to that championship game. But I mean, you have to really give all the credit to all the coaches and the players for just sticking to it. And it really started when Paige got back and they kind of got that lineup, the starting lineup all put together.
Yeah.
They had a great conference tournament. They won the championship. That kind of got their momentum rolling a little bit. They had that big win streak going into the March Madness tournament. And a couple of teams put up a pretty big fight. UCF gave them a really good game in the tournament. Of course, NC State, the double overtime game. Stanford was a tough team too, but yeah, I mean, I can't wait for next year, getting everybody back healthy, getting some old faces back, some new faces in the mix as well. So it's going to be exciting.
We want to hear from you guys. Tell us if we have the top 5 moments correct. Tell us if we have them wrong. We can't wait to see what other people say, Ryan. And now it's time for the comments. Ryan's favorite part of the show from the last episode, which was a while ago, Ryan. May 5th, it looks like. Number 4 best moment of the year. Ryan, here we go. Starting off with JHE. If WNBA will not resolve this crisis, they will lose the support of their fans on women's basketball in the U.S. and the world, and it will also affect their performance in women's Olympic basketball in the future, as their best players has no more place in their tournament. I'm talking about good WNBA players being waived. I guess you mean waived? Yeah, I think we went over that. I don't know. I had to watch the last episode again. I think we brought up the fact where it's only 12 WNBA teams.
Yeah.
We want to wake up one day, it's like a dream of the future. We want to wake up one day like the NFL, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League. Why can't it be 25? Why can't it be 30 teams? Look at all the women coming out of college, Ryan, and you cannot tell me for 1 second there is not a matter of time, or there is not enough room in the WNBA to expand this league And I'm sure there's enough people. I'm sure there is. You to expand the league, get more front offices, get more ownership. And hey, it would definitely bring on more jobs for the college athletes coming out of the NCAA. And you would see it would be more or less like a NBA league then, huh? Like 25, 30 teams.
Yeah, I mean, the both of us been saying it for the last 5 years now, that
Yeah.
we're just waiting for the day that we wake up and we see more WNBA teams in the league, and more rounds to the WNBA draft, and just everything getting expanded. There's only 3 rounds in the draft. It's not really televised that much. Seems like it's such a short draft because it is. I mean, there's only 3 rounds, and like you just said, there's so many players that deserve to be in the league that are talented enough to make it, but there's only 12 teams, right? So, and there's not as many games either. They don't play near as many games as what the NBA does. I don't even know if I don't think they even play half as many games as the NBA does. So hopefully in the years to come we can see some expansion to the WNBA.
Iva, we thank her for coming through again. I know this name all too well. We appreciate her following us. It's always fun when you win against defending champions, but the game as such was a bit hard to watch. Nobody was shooting well. It was all somehow disconnected, unlike North Carolina State game. That game was easily one of the best games ever played in NCAA men or women history. Stanford had a size, but if you don't know how to use that to your advantage, that doesn't help you. UConn most of the time had smaller lineup. Avina and Nika played a lot of minutes. Nika, smallest player, had 8 rebounds, and Avina, with all that 3-point buckets, was best player. Also, guys, you are great discussing all UConn women's basketball. Every time is more and more interesting, especially with the comments.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. And yeah, I agree. I agree with that's what I keep saying about Nika. She's not the tallest player. She doesn't score as many points, but I love her effort. She always get the rebounds and assists and steals. But I mean, hopefully, speaking about South Carolina, now the defending national champions, hopefully UConn will get them at least one game on their regular season schedule next season, because I'm sure everybody can't wait for that rematch, and hopefully UConn can come out on top next season. But yeah, I mean, the NC State game, we were both watching it together. That was one of the greatest women's or men's games I've ever seen. That was an incredible double overtime game. And Stanford, like we said before, Stanford and UConn really didn't have their best games in terms of especially shooting for both teams in that game. But yeah, hopefully South Carolina, UConn meet again next year, and I'm sure that would be a heck of a game.
The league would definitely get it wrong, Ryan, if they don't have a rematch, because we cannot wait all the way until March or beginning of April, technically, when most likely these two teams could meet again in the final. I don't know if I can wait that long. I don't think Ryan can either. So it's always good to have a rematch in the regular season again when these especially when the two teams meet in a final. Jason D'Amico agreed. Stanford's size was giving UConn fits all game. Free throws sealed the deal. Ryan, fair points. I'll let it go for now. Laugh my butt off. He goes LMAO. Peace.
Yeah. I think I can't remember what he commented on the video before, but yeah, I remember saying something about his comment the video before. It's been 9 days. I'll have to go back and see.
Well, you must be doing something right, Ryan, because it looks like a diehard UConn fan, and he's giving up the argument and he's leaving it to you.
Yeah, we'll put it under the bed for now and get back to it later maybe. But yeah, I mean Stanford. I mean it was a good game too, but Brink, I believe her name was, the center for Stanford. She was big down low. UConn didn't have Dorka, so it was really important for UConn not to foul out, get into foul trouble that game. But yeah, I mean, I think for UConn in that game, the most important thing was their smaller guards getting the job done. and most importantly, Nika and Avina Westbrook.
This comment here I wanted to hit hard on. Nick Hamill Porter, we thank him for coming through. Thoughts on Avina Westbrook getting weighed by the Storm? I wanted to have an episode, Ryan, on that topic all by itself. We just did not, we're unable to get to it, as well as North Carolina State's Raina Perez and Elisa Canane. I think this just further proves why the WNBA needs an expansion, because great talent is practically being wasted or at best heavily delayed. We need change as soon as possible. Yeah, Ryan, because, you know, just thinking about a world where it would be like the National Football League. I know it's different sports, but just think if it was like practice squad where you could bring them up, or just think it like the NBA where you could have, you know, more players stay, maybe not make the starting, maybe not actually not even be there at the games on the active roster, but at least, hey, get caught up in case one of your top players gets injured for the season and maybe even most likely out for the year. So again, I think it's a heavy topic to be discussed, not only in the near future, but starting today, right now. Yeah. And I think, man, it's I don't know. It's definitely a scary situation, because if we don't see any improvement over the next, I'm going to at least say 5-10 years, give them some space and room to at least make some big changes in this league. But yeah, I'm not too sure, man. If we get to 5 or to 10 year mark and we're having 12 WNBA teams, and again, these like Avina Westbrook, these highly talented players are getting cut. I understand it's more, maybe better talent. They did not, maybe I could use her on the active roster, Ryan. But again, why not have them minor league teams? You know, I know it sounds like baseball, but you know, where you can call them up in emergency situations.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with that. We definitely need change. Not sure how long it'll take. Hopefully it happens someday, but you know, hopefully we have some people, you know, using their voices. A lot of WNBA players are trying to use their voice to fight for change. And hopefully that happens someday. But I did see Avina Westbrook getting cut, and I did see it on Thursday.
Yeah,
I believe, yeah, on Thursday she signed the contract with or she got signed by the Minnesota Lynx.
That's a tough pill to swallow. Oh,
Yeah,
she did. All right, so she did get signed by Minnesota.
yeah, she did get
Okay.
signed. It says a hardship contract, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. But she did get signed by the Minnesota Lynx, so hopefully things go a little bit better for her with the Lynx, and you know, we'll keep updated on you know, the UConn Huskies in the WNBA.
Yeah, again, I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, just a tough pill to swallow when you have such a talented player, obviously coming out of the basketball capital, we call it. I just wanted to see what you thought about that. Is that more or less? I really don't. I don't believe it's due to a lack of talent. Seattle could have really used her, um, especially in the paint. You know, she did so well down low. But again, Ryan, I think it's mainly due to the fact just not enough room on these rosters. And that is a league issue. That
Yeah.
is not a UConn issue. You know, how they get their players ready to be drafted in the WNBA. That is not a Seattle Storm issue. That's just, hey, we have the players that we want, and we're sorry. We wish we could hang on to you, but we can't.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, I mean, the good thing for Avina Westbrook, she played so well in those 2 years with UConn. Like I said 100 times before, whether she was starting, coming off the bench,
Yeah.
she finds a way to make an impact. So hopefully now on the WNBA with the Link, she can find a way, maybe off the bench, to help contribute in any way possible. And hopefully she'll prove herself and find her way into a starting lineup.
Hey, how about the number 4? Number 2. I'm all thrown off on this one, Ryan. How about the number 2 best moment of the season tomorrow? How about that? Instead of waiting another week, how about we bring it out just a day after this one? It's Phil and Ryan on Listen Up, presented by Dempsey's in Sportsland. Ryan, have a great weekend.